right, party people. What's going on? This your man Griff here. It's a little late in the night. But I finally got finished with modifying some documents to do a little quick training session with y'all. I think y'all will like this one. This is primarily based on what everybody, yeah, just that a little bit. There we go. This is primarily based on the acknowledgement areas, okay? Whether jurat or regular acknowledgement, that's what this is based on. And a lot of people have been having problems with them based on the way that they're worded. And we know that if the acknowledgement isn't worded correctly, then we should be using our state's jurat or acknowledgement, the all-purpose one, to use. But you can also, in some cases, write in the person's name because there are times where they will have a jurat or a acknowledgement, the statement, and then it will have you write in the person's name. So, and a lot of times that's what I end up doing. I will write it in. So for Virginia, they want the person's name in the statement, and they want you to notarize the document and sign it on the same page as the person's name in the statement. So they don't want a split statement. The acknowledgement statement can't be split between two pages, if I remember correctly. And if I'm wrong, my apologies. Um, so I'm gonna share my screen out. Let's see here. So, and let's see here. Okay, I got my little annotate pen. All right. So basic acknowledgement. This is an owner's affidavit. Basically, affidavits are sworn statements, and this statement is saying dot dot dot. And primarily a lot of these are just going to be the second page or just the signature page for the document. So we're not even covering the content of the document at all. Okay. So don't worry about any of this other stuff. We're dealing with, the part where some, the state of, county of. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with all of this area right here. Okay. So we understand these two. Okay. State of, county of. That is where you are actually at. Okay. If it has a different state and a different county, you can line through, initial, and then write the correct one in there. Okay. Same thing down here for the county. You can do that. Okay. Now, down here says sworn to and subscribed before me this, talking about this day of such and such month. Okay. So this, what is this here? The 16th day. I don't know why that's so big. Of March. 2021. Okay. So that's what you put there. And then down here, if you wanted to, you can put in there by John Jones and Jane Jones. Okay. So in some cases you can write, for some people they'll write that in, they'll hand write that in, or you can use an all-purpose acknowledgement, which in essence you're going to have to hand write that in anyway. So or you may come across one that already has the lines there. So you can do that. Okay. So this is one acknowledgement or a jurat. This is a jurat talking about sworn and subscribed because it's attached to an affidavit. Oh, I forgot this stuff does a state. That's right. I forgot. So gotta clear all that. All right. So That's one affidavit. I mean, one acknowledgement. Now, this here is an actual acknowledgement. Liability or shortages acknowledgement. Okay. Affidavit, jurat. Acknowledgements, you're acknowledging the facts of such and such. Okay. So this here is simply the same thing, state of, county of, on, and in this case, the actual date, 3/16/2021, or however you want to put it in there, then before me. Okay. And this throws a lot of people off also. Before me, meaning before you. Who are you? In this case, Stephen Griffin. Okay. So I'll put my name here. Now, some people will put Notary Public before me, Notary Public, or the Notary Public. I tend to put my name there. Okay. Oh, my bad, y'all. Heard some noise. It's just raining. I tend to put my name here. So I put my name, the undersigned officer, personally appeared, so and so and so and so. In this case, John fake name. So John fake name would go here. Okay. Get my little annotation. So John fake name would go here, not the initials. Okay. I'm just using initials because I don't have a little writing pen thing. Okay. And then here is the date. And then, okay, I'm getting better at this. Uh-oh, I'm getting good at it. All right now. And then your name. So the date, the name, John fake name. You put that person's actual name here. And in this case, and then it goes on through here. And in this case, it's just one person. And a lot of time I will just underline. So he, his, okay. Or if it's her, or if it's there. Okay, if it's two people. So in this one, you're actually just filling in those blank spots. So if you see a space behind before me, once you see that space, that is typically your name. But I always say just read a little bit more. So it says, before me, Earl Jones, the undersigned officer, personally appeared. Who personally appeared? The signers. Okay. They personally appeared before you, not personally appeared John Jones. You don't appear, you don't be the officer and then appear to yourself. Okay. And then they provide a satisfactory, and then you put your commission date. I put my commission, I handwrite my commission, and I write my number on there because if I'm not mistaken, Virginia wants that on there. And then I do the stamp because I think it's independent of the stamp being on that stamp. And then I sign my name. And in this case, you're going to sign all, I mean, you're going to sign your name and not just print your name. Okay. Just because it doesn't say print doesn't mean doesn't say sign, don't mean you don't print. And then you have all of this space to put your stamp. So just because it doesn't say seal, just because it doesn't say stamp, doesn't mean you can't sign it. Okay. Or that you're not supposed to. You are supposed to, stamp it. You are supposed to stamp it. Okay. It's that simple. So we got this here payoff affidavit. Again, signed, sworn and subscribed. Same exact thing, okay, that we had before. Blank, and then you can handwrite their names in here if your state requires that, or you don't. Now, all this time when I was working on this document, I didn't yawn that once. All right. So again, another one. This Notary Public, this is your signature line, even though the name is a little bit down there, but it's still the same. Okay. Nothing's changed. Okay. So you shouldn't get thrown off by that. And if you're looking for the city of and county of, I think it might be on it was on the other page, but in an event, if it wasn't, you can handwrite that in here. Okay. Now, some people say, no, don't do it. You can handwrite it for my, and if I'm wrong, then I stand corrected. But I was told that you can handwrite that in there, or you just use a separate acknowledgement, because it's no different than you can handwrite an acknowledgement as long as it has the proper verbiage per your state. Okay. And this here, this power of attorney one. All right. So on this one, it says the county or state are still blank. It says on such and such day before you, the undersigned officer, personally appeared. Same thing. You put the people's name who personally appeared before you. And then witnessed by my hand and official seal. So you will sign, you would date, you'll put your expiration date, and then you will put your stamp date. You must stamp it, okay? There have been instructions that came out saying that you must stamp. You have to stamp, okay? People are signing these documents and not stamping, okay? You must stamp, period. And then this one, as you see, has his name in there. So this one here says the foregoing instrument was acknowledged before me this such and such date by so and so person. And then you put your name. I put my registration number here in this little blank spot. And then I put my expiration date. That's all you got to do there. Very, very, very simple. Okay. It's not complicated. It shouldn't throw anybody off. Okay. So in this case, it has a date. Now, if you notice before me, there's no space there. Now, I do know some people, when I first started, I've seen it. I can't remember if I might have seen it once or twice. I think one time I saw it with somebody, and I can't remember who it was. Some people, let me get my little thing, will actually right here write a name here as if they're trying to insert it here. I've never been told to do that. I don't think you need to do that. You can check with your state, so if your state requirement is that your name has to be on there, then I get it. But as far as I understand, if it's not there, you don't have to insert it. And I've never been told to insert it. All right. So I hope y'all following me, and I hope I'm not going too fast. Remember, y'all can always pause this and replay it back. Overall, this shouldn't be that long. And then again, another one, acknowledged before me this, whatever date, by so and so person. Okay. Now, this compliance agreement is the same. You got the date up here, it's the same. I'm just getting you to see that these documents, and if you notice how it's laid out, this one versus the other one, I think this is about the same. It was something different. I forgot. There was something different between them, but just the way they was laid out, because before this line was actually on the second line, okay, instead of being on the first line. All right. Now, this here, if you notice with this one, these are signature lines, okay? What I'm circling, those are signature lines. They don't have borrower, they don't have co-borrower, they don't have the person's name, but those are signature lines and they need to sign there. And a lot of times people will miss having them sign there. So this one is saying the foregoing instrument was subscribed and sworn before me this particular date by, and then you will put the person's name there. That by has been throwing people off and people been thinking that they're supposed to put their name in there, and it's not. It's the signer's name. Who was it? Who was the foregoing instrument subscribed and sworn by? It was subscribed and sworn by the people who did it. Who are these who did it? Earl Jones and Jane Jones. Them two are the ones who did it. So therefore, you would write their name right there. If it's one person, you would write the one person's name there. Then you would sign it. The rank, the title and rank, that typically deals with military, from what I was told, as well as probably public officials, because some public officials can notarize documents, okay? And then whatever serial number, identification number that they have, bar card, I think, and then But for us, it's going to be the registration number and when your commission expires. That's what you need to put on there. So after they do their part, or I mean, after they sign, yes, do their part to sign it, you will print their name here. And I'll always ask people, you need to make the name that you put in there legible. Some people get too fancy with their handwriting, they get too script, and it's hard to tell who's who. I don't let anybody fill that out. Okay. Now, if you notice, there's a difference. This one, you gotta pay attention. Right here, there's no space for after before me. Okay, there's no space. But then on this one, it is. And they put his name there. So they changed it up. And you have to be one, you have to pay attention to that. You have to be focused on that because that's something that happens a lot. You'll be going through a document and it'll be one way, and then all of a sudden the acknowledgement switches over to something else. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. did I miss something? So you will put your name there, or before me, the notary public, whichever one you want. And I never had checked into which one's supposed to go where. I just put my name there. And then signature person taking acknowledgement, and you are the person taking the acknowledgement. The signers are not the people taking the acknowledgement, and you are not the person that goes behind the word by, unless you're cleaning up something. Okay. Then your registration number and expiration date. And this one, subscribed and sworn before me the 16th day of such and such. And sometimes I make the mistake and I'll write the whole date here, March 16, 2021. Um, yeah, and I try not to do that. I don't think I've done that in a while, but that can happen. In some cases, you should be able to just line through initial, put the correct day, and then all of that in there. And then they got his name here. Sometimes they won't have the person's name there. It will not be there. So in this case, the name is there, and then you keep going. Now, when you have to handwrite their name in there, you need to make sure that it is spelled in here the exact same way it's on the signature line. If it's not, then they're not going to consider this valid, period. And I've had that happen to me before on the deed where the guy last name ended with the third, and I didn't put it on there, even though I am the third myself. All right. Got a couple more. And then you got this plain one before me, this, the date, and the person's name. So that's why I said you can hand write their name in there, because in this case, somebody typed this name already in there for you. So this here is just a different acknowledgement, the date, and who it was done by. And then the last one, simply put, on this date before me, personally appeared, the people who signed before me, and that's it. That is completely it. So I hope I didn't go too fast. Feel free to replay this video as much as you need. And I'm confident that this video will help a whole lot of people out understanding. But if I went too fast, please let me know. If I have to redo this, I will. But again, to me, this is plain and simple, and to a lot of people. However, I do understand that for some notaries, this here is it can be complicated, okay, because you got so much going on in your brain from various sources. So that's it. I'm trying to think of anything else. I know what else I want to show y'all concerning these, but I don't remember where that document is at. And it was an old document that I had, so we'll figure it out. All right, well, y'all have a good one. I'm getting ready to go to bed. Peace.